In this video, I'm going to discuss absolute value, and it's probably familiar to you, but in case not, I'm just going to do a quick review. An absolute value of a number, basically the rule is that positive numbers stay positive and negative numbers become their respective positive number. For example, the absolute value of 2 remains 2, but the absolute value of negative 2 is positive 2. And I just want to make a note that if the thing inside the absolute value is negative, then it can be expressed as the negative of the negative. In other words, we multiply a negative number by negative 1 to get it back to becoming a positive number. That idea will be key in a lot of the examples we do today. So here's a first example. The absolute value of x is equal to 6, and we have to find out what x could be. So there's one possibility that if x is positive, then the absolute value does nothing. Just remains itself, and it becomes x is equal to 6. And there's an answer right there. We're done. But what if x is negative? If x is negative, then we have to multiply it by negative 1 to make it become positive, because that's what the absolute value does. It makes it become positive. So negative x is equal to 6, and by multiplying both sides by negative 1, we have x is equal to negative 6. And so x can be either negative 6 or 6, or x belongs to the solution set containing negative 6 and 6. So this was a simple example, but it already shows the key idea, which is that if the thing inside the absolute value is negative, then we have to multiply it by negative 1 to make it positive. So here's another example that uses the exact same idea, just a little bit more complex. The absolute value of x plus 4 is equal to 6. Now, if x plus 4 is equal to is positive, then we already basically have what's in the absolute value. It stays the same. X plus 4 is equal to 6. We subtract 4 from both sides to get x is equal to 2. But if x plus 4 is negative, that means we have to multiply x plus 4 by negative 1 to make it become positive. So we have negative x plus 4 is equal to 6. We distribute the negative sign. Negative x minus 4 is equal to 6. Add 4 to both sides, get negative x is equal to 10, and we have x is equal to negative 10. So we have our answer. X is in the solution set, negative 10 and 2. Here's another example that's basically the same, except instead of equality, you have an inequality. We have x minus 6 is less than 20. And again, if x minus 6 is positive, it's already positive, and it does not change because of the absolute value. So we have x minus 6 is less than 20. We add 6 to both sides, and we get x is less than 26. But if x minus 6 is negative, that means that we have to multiply it by negative 1, or find the negative of it, to make it positive. So we have negative x minus 6 is less than 20. We distribute the negative signs. We have negative x plus 6 is less than 20. Subtract 6 from both sides to get negative x is less than 14. Multiply both sides by negative 1 to get x is greater than negative 14. Remember, we flip the sign when we multiply both sides of an inequality by a negative number. And so combined, we have our answer, which is that negative 14 is less than x, which is less than 26. So x can fall anywhere in that range. And here's a visual sort of understanding of it that's a little bit more intuitive and conceptual. X minus 6 can be thought of as the distance between x and 6. Because it's always going to be positive, it's not going to be a difference, but it's going to be the distance. How far apart is the number x and 6? And so for the absolute value of x minus 6 is less than 20, we know that the distance between x and 6 is going to be less than 20. So the far end we have 26, at the very beginning we have negative 14, and in the middle we have 6. And we know that if we have any point in that range, it's not going to be further than 20 away from 6. It's always going to be in that interval between 14 and 26, because it's always going to be 20, at most 20 away from 6. So absolute values are very useful about thinking about distances away from a certain point.